Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Sometimes the hardest thing to believe is that we are already enough, right here, right now, without the need to prove, earn, or measure up to anyone else's expectations. This morning, I want you to take a slow breath and let the weight of all the shoulds slide off your shoulders. You don't have to fix yourself before you can be loved. You don't have to meet a certain standard before you can rest in the truth of your worth. You woke up today, and that alone is reason enough to receive grace. I know the world can make you feel invisible, as if you have to keep shouting to be heard or keep performing to be seen. But here, in this quiet moment, you are fully noticed. You are valued not for what you can produce or achieve, but for simply being you. Let those words land softly in your heart. I am loved as I am. You might feel the urge to resist them, to think of all the ways you could be better before you accept love. But I'm inviting you to pause that inner critic and let a different voice speak, the one that sees you, knows you, and calls you worthy without condition. As you breathe in, imagine pulling in warmth and kindness toward yourself. Let it fill the empty spaces where self-doubt usually settles. Feel it soften the edges of your thoughts. This is not about pretending you have no flaws or denying your humanity. It's about making space to love yourself within your humanity. It's about saying, yes, I have imperfections, but they do not disqualify me from love. Your value is not fragile. It's not something that can be lost because of one mistake, one failure, or one season of feeling low. The truth is, you have survived so much already. The fact that you're here, breathing, means you have more resilience than you give yourself credit for. This morning, let's set aside the idea that worth is instead. Let's rest in the truth that worth is inherent. It's woven into your very being. You might be remembering moments when people made you feel small, overlooked, or unimportant. Those memories can stick to you like shadows, whispering lies that you carry into the present. But today, I want you to picture those shadows dissolving in the light of truth. Picture yourself standing in a warm beam of morning sun, feeling its gentle weight on your skin, its quiet reminder that you are alive, you are seen, and you are loved. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter who failed to see your value, that love remains unshaken. Even if no one says it to you today, I'm saying it now. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are deeply loved exactly as you are. So let's take this day slowly, not rushing to prove anything, not scrambling to fix what is not broken. Let's move through it with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your worth is not up for debate. You can still grow, still learn, still strive for better, but do it from a place of already being loved, not from a place of trying to earn love. The difference will change everything. It will change how you carry yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you treat others. When you know you are loved, you stop living in scarcity and start living in abundance. And that abundance is not about having more things, it's about having more peace, more grace, more joy that flows naturally because you're no longer holding your breath, waiting for approval. Let this be your prayer today. Remind me, unloved as I am. Let me walk through this day with a quiet assurance that I don't have to be perfect to belong. Help me to release the pressure to earn acceptance and instead receive it freely. And when my mind tries to pull me back into doubt, let these words be louder. I am loved. I am enough. I am seen. Carry that with you now and watch how it changes the way the world feels around you. There are mornings when you wake up and the first thoughts that arrive are heavy. The ones that remind you of yesterday's disappointments or bring up fears for today. It can feel like your worth is tied to what you can accomplish or how flawlessly you can handle what's coming. But you're allowed to begin your day differently. You can choose to start from a place where love is not something you chase, but something you already hold. Today, instead of rehearsing every reason you feel inadequate, let's slowly and intentionally list the truths that cannot be shaken. You are alive. You are breathing. You are capable of giving and receiving kindness. These are not small things, they are miracles in motion. When you look in the mirror this morning, don't search for flaws or tally up the ways you think you fall short. Look for signs of the life you've lived, the strength you've built, the gentleness you've shown, the lines on your face, the marks on your skin, the tiredness in your eyes. They all tell a story, and none of them diminish your worth. They are evidence that you have lived, endured, and kept going. That's something to honor, not hide. When the world around you moves fast, it's easy to feel like you need to keep up or risk being left behind. But love doesn't operate on deadlines. It doesn't measure you against someone else's pace. It meets you exactly where you are, whether you're running, walking, or standing still. This morning, I want you to imagine love as a quiet, steady presence beside you. It doesn't push or rush. It simply stays. And the more you allow yourself to feel it, the more you'll see that it has been there all along. Maybe you've been taught that love has to be earned through effort, perfection, or sacrifice. But the truth is, the deepest kind of love, true, lasting, unconditional, can't be earned or lost. It simply is, and it is. There will be moments today when old voices return, the ones that say you're too much or not enough. When they show up, pause, take a breath, remind yourself, I am more than their opinion of me. Your worth was not created by them, and it cannot be destroyed by them. You belong to something greater than the sum of your mistakes or your successes. If you fail today, you are loved. If you succeed today, you are loved. That love doesn't increase or decrease depending on the outcome. That's what makes it sacred. It's constant, even when you are not. So how do you carry this truth with you through the day? You start small. You speak to yourself in the same tone you'd use for someone you deeply care about. You let yourself rest when you're tired without calling yourself lazy. You give yourself grace when you make a mistake without replaying it in your mind all day. And you choose again and again to believe that being loved as you are is not a dream or a theory. It is your reality right now. This belief will change you. It will soften the way you react to others. It will free you from the exhausting need to constantly prove yourself. It will remind you that you are not defined by what you can produce or how perfectly you can perform. You are defined by something far deeper, the truth that you are inherently worthy of love and belonging. Let this prayer guide you today. Help me see myself through the eyes of love. When I am tempted to criticize, let me choose compassion. When I feel invisible, remind me that I am seen. When I doubt my worth, anchor me in the truth that it has never been at risk. Walk into this day knowing that you don't have to become anything more than you already are to deserve kindness, gentleness, and care. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply human, and that is more than enough. Carry this truth with quiet confidence and let it be the foundation for everything you do today. Some mornings you wake up and it feels like the world has already decided who you are before you even open your eyes. Expectations you never agreed to sit on your shoulders. Memories of moments when you were misunderstood, overlooked, or dismissed replay themselves like a song you didn't choose. You move through the start of the day already feeling like you're behind, already wondering if you can measure up. But here, right now, is a moment to stop, to choose a different beginning, to decide that your worth is not on trial today. Take a slow breath in, let your shoulders drop, and as you exhale, release the pressure to be anything other than who you are in this moment. Feel the air around you, the ground beneath you, and remember that the world does not need a perfected version of you. It needs the real you, the one who sometimes laughs too loud, or feels deeply, or needs time to find the right words, the one who carries scars and stories that no one else fully knows, the one who has failed, gotten back up, and learned how to keep walking even when the path wasn't clear. That person is worthy. That person is enough. If today brings challenges, you are still loved. If today is quiet and uneventful, you are still loved. If today is filled with mistakes, interruptions, or detours, you are still loved. There is nothing you could do to lose that love. It doesn't fade when you are tired. It doesn't vanish when you are unsure. It doesn't depend on your ability to keep everyone else happy. It is here, steady and unshaken, ready to wrap around you the moment you allow yourself to feel it. This morning, let's replace the question, "Am I enough?" with the truth, "I am loved right here, right now." Let this be the anchor you carry into every conversation, every decision, every task. Because when you move from a place of knowing you are loved, you don't need to chase approval. You don't have to prove your existence has value. You simply live it. I hope you can find a few moments today to pause and notice something beautiful around you, the way sunlight spills across your floor, the sound of someone's laughter in the distance, the taste of your first sip of coffee or tea. These moments are not just pleasant distractions. They are reminders that you are part of a world filled with goodness, even in its imperfections. And in that same way, your own imperfections do not make you less. They make you human, and that humanity is beautiful. So walk through this day without rehearsing your flaws. Walk through this day with your head a little higher, not in arrogance, but in quiet acceptance of who you are. Let your smile be unforced, your words be gentle, and your steps be unhurried. You don't need to hurry toward worthiness. You already have it. And when the doubts whisper, answer them with this, "I am loved as I am," and that is enough. Some days, the hardest part is believing you are worthy of love when you feel like you haven't earned it. You might look back on yesterday and see only what went wrong. You might remember the words you wish you hadn't spoken, the moments you wish you'd handled differently. And it's so easy, in that space, to start thinking you have to make up for it all today, to be flawless, to prove that you're worth keeping close. But love doesn't work that way. Real, steady love isn't a prize you win. It's a truth that's already yours. This morning, I want you to take a breath and imagine that truth wrapping around you like a soft, warm blanket. It doesn't ask questions. It doesn't make demands. It just holds you quietly, completely. You don't have to earn it with perfect words or spotless actions. You don't have to carry the weight of yesterday's mistakes to deserve it. Right now, before you've done anything today, you are already loved. And that truth will not change. If you've spent years chasing the approval of others, it can feel strange to slow down and receive love without earning it. But this is where the healing begins, in allowing yourself to accept kindness without suspicion, to hear encouragement without arguing with it in your mind, to stand in the sunlight without stepping back into the shadows. You don't need to shrink yourself to be acceptable. You don't need to explain away your joy. You can take up space in this world exactly as you are. There will be moments today when you feel invisible, when it seems like no one notices the effort you put in or the quiet battles you fight. In those moments, remember, being unseen by people does not mean you are unseen entirely. Your heart is known. Your story is seen. Your worth is not diminished by someone else's inability to recognize it. You're not less valuable just because someone overlooks you. So let today be a day where you carry yourself like someone who belongs, because you do. Let your steps be steady, not rushed, because you're not running toward love. You're walking with it. Let your thoughts be gentle when they turn inward, because the person you are speaking to, you deserves the same compassion you'd offer to someone you cherish. And as this day unfolds, when doubt starts to creep in, pause and remind yourself, I am loved as I am. Not for what I do, not for how I look, not for how perfectly I meet expectations, simply for being me. That truth will meet you in the quiet, and it will meet you in the noise. It will hold you when you feel small, and it will steady you when you feel unworthy. Carry it into every moment ahead, and watch how it changes the way you move through the world, not because you've become someone new, but because you've remembered who you've been all along. Some mornings, before the light has even fully filled the room, a heaviness can settle in your chest. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just a quiet knowing that today will take more from you than you think you have to give. You might look at the hours ahead and wonder if you'll have the strength, the patience, or even the desire to step into them fully. That's where I want you to pause, to take one slow breath, and remember, strength isn't just about pushing through. Sometimes it's about allowing yourself to be held. You are not meant to carry the weight of every expectation on your own shoulders. You are not here to meet an invisible checklist of perfection. You are here to live this day with a heart that remembers it is loved, not because it performed well yesterday, not because it has a flawless plan for today, but simply because it exists, and that is more than enough. So let this morning be softer than the ones where you've rushed into proving yourself. Sit with the light as it grows. Notice how the air feels on your skin. Let the small details remind you that you are a living, breathing part of something bigger. Even if the tasks of the day demand your attention, you can still carry this truth quietly with you. I am loved exactly as I am, and that will not change. If you stumble today, it does not erase that love. If you need to rest, it does not make you less worthy. If you speak up and your voice shakes, it does not mean you failed. Every piece of you, brave, tired, uncertain, joyful, belongs here. So walk into this day with a gentle defiance against the lies that say you're not enough. You don't have to shout to prove your worth. You can let it be known in the way you treat yourself kindly, in the way you refuse to shrink when the world tells you to be smaller, in the way you let yourself breathe when everything else urges you to hurry. And tonight, when the day is over, I hope you can look back and see not a list of what you did, but a quiet confidence in who you were. Not perfect, not always certain, but present, loved, real. And that will always be more than enough. There's a certain kind of quiet that comes before the day begins. The kind that makes you notice your own breathing, the softness of the blanket, the way light starts to slip gently into the room. In that stillness, it's easy to hear the thoughts that have been waiting for you since yesterday. Maybe they're kind, maybe they're sharp, maybe they question whether you'll be enough for what's ahead. But before those thoughts can take root, I want you to know you don't have to prove your worth today. You've already been given it. It's already woven into you. Love is not something you need to chase, bargain for, or earn through flawless effort. The deepest, truest kind of love it's the kind that sees every version of you, the strong, the weary, the joyful, the broken, and doesn't turn away. That love is here right now, in this quiet, before you've even stepped out of bed. Today might ask a lot from you. There might be moments when you feel overlooked, or when your contributions go unnoticed. But the truth remains. Your value isn't determined by applause or approval. It's in the way you exist with sincerity, in the way you try again even after hard days, in the way you keep showing up for your life. That matters. You matter. So as you step into this morning, take the pressure off. You don't have to make today impressive to make it meaningful. Sometimes the most sacred days are the simple ones, the ones where you allowed yourself to rest without guilt, where you spoke gently to yourself, where you noticed a small beauty and let it fill you with gratitude. If you feel invisible, remember, being unseen by others does not mean you are unloved. There is a presence that knows you better than anyone, that sees every hope you carry, every quiet tear you've cried, and holds them tenderly. That love isn't keeping score. It isn't waiting for you to fix yourself before it shows up. It's already here, steady and unshaken. So let today be one where you move at the pace of kindness, where you remember that love is not fragile and it's not conditional. You are free to live without the weight of earning it. You can let it be the foundation under your feet, the soft place you return to, the steady truth that whispers you are loved as you are. And when this day closes, I hope you find yourself resting in that same quiet, maybe with fewer doubts than you woke up with, maybe with more peace in your chest, not because the day was perfect, but because you let love meet you right where you were and you allowed yourself to believe it